Hello, today we are going to be talking to Dr. Maryam Sani, a fellow of the Royal Society of Chemistry and a chartered chemist. She has a distinguished 30-year career in education, leadership, and research across the United Kingdom and Saudi Arabia. Her qualifications include a PhD in STEM, education and careers, and a Master's of Science in Analytical Chemistry. She is a qualified teacher and worked in education and leadership for many years. Dr. Sani is the person we need to be talking to. She is an advocate for women in STEM. Her work focuses on increasing female representation and engagement in science and technology. She's deeply committed to empowering women and young women in STEM, and she has co-organized key initiatives like the Saudi Women in Technology Program, Ladies for a Better Tomorrow, and the Global Space Prize CubeSat Challenge in New York, all aimed at girls. So she's currently the education lead for the Space Prize Foundation, which is a US nonprofit. And in this role, she's led curriculum development, conducted teacher training in partnership with UNESCO. So we're not going to waste any time. We need to talk to this lady when it comes to STEM and when it comes to girls. So you're going to help us demystify STEM, I'm sure. Dr. Sani, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, is there anything that's an introduction? Is there anything else that I missed in terms of what you're doing? What are you, you know what, we can get to what you're doing now at the very end because it's a very important initiative, and I do want you to talk with you about it. But right now, can you give us your definition of STEM and why it's so important?
Okay, so in actual fact, universally, there isn't a definition of STEM. It's an acronym, science, technology, engineering, and math, but it doesn't have a definition which we can all turn to and say, this is what STEM is. So essentially, what it is a collaboration between any two of those areas, science and technology, science and engineering, technology and engineering, technology and math. So that I would say is the minimum standard that you have some collaboration between two of those areas. Having said that, the acronym I think it was by accident that it was mentioned. Um, because prior to the acronym, I mean, it's difficult to think of science without math. It's difficult to think about technology without math or science to some extent or engineering. So I think it just sort of put a focus on what we were already doing and, in a sense, changed it a little by focusing on skills more so than just the raw subjects. So
Gotcha.
it's a collaboration, the skills entailed in science, technology, engineering, and math.
So, can you give us an example of how STEM touches everyday lives in ways that we might not notice?
Oh gosh. Do you have enough time?
Very briefly.
Um, Actually, I'll give you an example. When I was a chemist by
Mm,
profession, so I always used to have students write about a day without chemistry,
mm,
and they can't. Because whether it's the air that we breathe, the clothes that we wear, the food that we eat, it's everywhere. And
mm,
it's the same with STEM. Right now we're using technology, through the internet.
mm,
Engineering is involved in that.
mm.
So it's endless. There isn't anything that doesn't involve STEM, I would say,
It's all around us. And I
all
think we're
around us.
probably like, we had the Industrial Revolution way back way back. I think we're probably in a revolution right now in terms of technology and these fields. Yeah. So what inspired you to get involved in chemistry? Because that's your specialty. What inspired you to get involved in that?
Okay, so if anyone has heard my story before, I apologize,
That's
but
okay. That's okay.
it's
It's probably not over here, but
uh,
you can give us a brief explanation.
actually it was a love of colors from the age of about 3. Literally, I used to walk down the street in my hometown with my mom, and there was a chemist store on the corner. And in the window of that shop, the big windows, they had these um, large bottles with green, red, and blue liquids. And they were transparent. And it was so fascinating to me. I would always pull my mom and say, I want to see, I want to see. But it wasn't until I was in around grade 7, studying chemistry, well, science, but the chemistry part of science in school, that I recognized that I saw these colors again. I saw the colors and realized that they were something to do with chemistry. And from that point on, I wanted to be a chemist. But a chemist in the sense of what I knew, what we call now a pharmacist.
Mm,
The chemists back then were mixing the chemicals and they
okay.
were, producing the potions for the patients. So that's what I had in my mind for the longest time. And that's why I got involved in chemistry,
So
because
you
of that
always
love.
knew that at a very young age that this is something that you wanted to do.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was, but I
Mm,
knew that I'd seen what I wanted, but I didn't know what it was called, if that makes sense.
okay.
And so going through school, I then thought I wanted to be a chemist, which is what we now call a pharmacist.
Mm,
But the role changed. The role changed over time. And even though I did work and applied to university to study pharmacy, I changed my mind before I actually joined the university.
okay.
It was too commercial for me. So I changed to chemistry because of love of chemistry without any idea of what I was going to do with it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah. So, you've kind of expanded your point of view in terms of it's not just chemistry that you're involved in. What are some of the biggest challenges do you think that girls face when it comes to engaging in this field, in this area, science, technology, engineering, economics, math? What do you think are some of the biggest challenges our girls today face?
I think that there are several challenges, but I want to say that the first one is the girls themselves, their own self-belief.
Mm,
Okay, I think that, and I don't want to sound stereotypical, but I think that it's far easier for a girl to not do STEM
mm,
if she's had one knockback.
mm, mm,
A boy, most boys, if you tell them they can't do it, they'll be like, I can,
mm.
and they'll just get on and do it. But girls tend to second check themselves. And I'm saying this from experience because I work with girls and boys, but girls a lot of the time. And one of the reasons why I do what I do is because I know that if I have an opportunity for a girl and I mention it once, she'll think about it. If I don't mention it a second time, it's gone. She's not going to do anything. But if I mention it 3 or 4 times and reinforce that with, you'd be really good at this,
Mm,
she's
mm,
there, you
mm,
know. So that's one of the challenges. Another challenge that I find is that a lot of people, and it is more governmental than anything, they are pushing the term STEM. A lot of the children don't really care about the word STEM. They want to know the name of a job
mm,
that they can get into.
mm,
And so when they have initiatives which are, we want to get young people involved in STEM, a lot of them think, well, we've got to be the best. And honestly, a lot of the times they are looking for the best. Whereas for me, it's not about being the best, it's about having the passion for any of the fields. That's going to be the most important thing. So when you've got competitions and some of them won't enter because they'll be, I'm not the best, I'm not going to get in. So that is a barrier, even though there are initiatives which are supposedly supporting encouraging girls. Um, Even where there are female-led initiatives, sometimes it's the same thing. They want the best. It's not just about giving all of the girls an opportunity, which is one of the things that we try to do. We try to give all girls opportunities rather than focusing on the most talented.
Gotcha, gotcha. So what are for your, in terms of your own experience, what was your biggest challenge that you had to work through?
I was the only girl in my A-level chemistry class. That
Uh,
was the first one. Although the boys were great.
mm.
Um, and in actual fact, it really wasn't a challenge because my chemistry teacher was amazing. Um, my greatest challenge, I don't know. I don't think I've had a challenge in terms of my education.
Okay, so let me ask you it in a different way. So mindset shift. Um, what is the mindset shift that you had to make in order to push through?
I had a strong dad and mom who used to tell me that I can be anything that I want to be. And when I told them that I was interested in chemistry, I was the first in my family,
Mm,
amongst my siblings, I was the first to go to university. I'm the
mhm,
youngest. And they supported me. They didn't say, "Oh, why do you want to do chemistry? What are you going to do with that?" They said, "You can be whatever you want to be." And I think that before I even did that growing up, I wasn't allowed to just do anything. I had hobbies. I was supported. When I wanted to do ballet, they paid for me to do ballet. When I wanted to, learn to play the piano, they, did whatever they thought they could do to support me. And that shaped my future because it made me believe I can do what I set my mind to do if I work hard. In our family, the word ambition means a lot.
right,
Okay.
right.
So you can't not have an ambition.
You've got to be doing
And
something. Yeah. I
yeah.
think for me, when I'm thinking about mindset, I think the one thing that I've kind of had to do was that negative voice. We have a monkey mind and we have a wise mind. And monkey mind, I don't let my monkey mind stay here. I kind of move it behind here so that monkey mind, yeah, it's going on, but my wise mind will push through, will break things down, make things into step by step. Um, but monkey mind, yeah, it's in the back, but I'm ignoring it and just pushing through in terms of, what it is that I need to do. Because I failed math twice. And that was and because I failed math, physics and chemistry, and because I had the same teacher for physics and math. And I was so glad that, whoops, I was so glad. My most significant achievement was when I got 92% on my geometry test. I will never, ever forget that. Um, and even when I graduated and I went into social work, I was thinking, I should take another math class now that I
Oh
could
God.
take it. And everybody looked at me like, are you nuts? You don't have to
You
do
got
that.
it. Just stay with it.
But probably if I had stayed with math, I would have probably done something different as opposed to getting into. So I'm not saying I did the wrong thing, but it might have had more opportunities. Let's say that. But again,
Yes.
it's pushing through and not allowing that your monkey mind to kind of take over. Yeah. So yeah. I guess that's from my perspective is really what I see. So in terms of parents, you talked about your mom and dad and how they were really supportive. And what advice would you give to parents or teachers who want to encourage girls in STEM?
To be there for them,
Mm,
I don't think that I think that they need encouragement,
mm,
they need support. Even when things are not going right, they need to know that it's okay not to be okay sometimes,
Mm,
but just to keep on trying if that is their goal. But it's not just about trying like that. It's about also being supportive in terms of things like helping them to have experiences which may help to shape their future as well.
got you.
So, one of the things I do with my students or my clients is that I encourage them to tap into their parents' social networks, their job work networks. And for example, if someone's interested in engineering, I get them to, first of all, speak to parents. Okay, do you know any engineers? If they say yes, that, well, can you give me the name or could you speak to them? I'd like to shadow them for a day or just to have a conversation with them to make sure that this is really something that I would like to do. And
Right.
there are so many people who are willing to help young people. It's just that they're not the ones that are going to approach, you know.
Exactly. Or
Yeah.
even invite them to come to the school, do a presentation, and,
Yeah,
you
that
know,
happens,
mm,
but then that's for everybody, you know. But what I'm
mm,
saying is a little bit more personal. After they've been to the school, okay, then now what? You
mm,
know, because a lot of the times nothing happens after that, not because of fault on any part, but sometimes the children don't know who to approach or they're afraid to approach and they think, oh, you know, children these days don't like to stand on their own.
mm,
We
mm,
used to stand on our own and do what we wanted to do.
mm.
But if then a friend isn't doing it, then they think twice about it. But if they have conversations with parents or older siblings or, you know, the extended family, then that can open lots of opportunities for them. Um, so many people. I mean, a few days ago, I was speaking to somebody who said that she had studied medical health sciences, sorry, health science in college, but she doesn't know she wants to do. She wants to be a doctor.
Mm.
And I said, why? Why do you want to be a doctor? And she said, hmm, I like babies. I want to be a pediatrician. I said, no, that's not a reason for wanting to be a doctor. Go think again. So I gave her a quiz, a sort of personality quiz to go through. And I said to tomorrow, I want the responses. It'll give you 5 responses which match your personality. And none of them were medicine. None of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, it doesn't mean she has to go along with that, but she has rethought. It's made her have conversations with her family and think again about what she wants to do. And she does want to go into the medical field, but she
Mm.
doesn't necessarily want to be a doctor now, you
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
But
So,
so many people are going into the wrong thing because they're not having conversations. They're not thinking deeply. They're thinking, oh yeah, it'd be nice to wear a white coat, you know, or it'd be nice to have that title. And it's so much more than just having a title or, you know, wearing a fancy white coat, you know.
what I've come to see in this area, and I'm coming new to the game, and you've been in this game for well over 20 years, but I'm coming new to the field of STEM. And I think so much of what we need to be doing with girls is to create an open space of exploration, a way to experiment. There's a STEM camp this summer. Let's go check it out and see. You may not like it, but go and see. So I think
Mhm.
it's really about creating open spaces for girls to try rather than saying, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. But just go and try and see. You might actually like it. You might get something from it. So I think what I'm coming to this with is, I'm not a parent at this, but I do consider myself to be a mentor. Is to allow and encourage exploration, to see, check things out. If you like it, that's great. If you don't, but there's possible to be open
Mhm.
to possibilities is what I'm
Absolutely.
saying, and I think that's
Absolutely.
that's what you're saying in terms of
Yeah.
the
And
movement
we've
of STEM.
had lots of girls. participate in different camps or initiatives that we've done. And that's been exactly the reason. And one of the ones that I really like, and I tell this story, is because last October we did a Space Prize CubeSat challenge in New York. And there's the, in order to participate in the camp, the students had to write an essay for the first round. If we felt from the essays, if the judges felt from the essays that they were really keen to learn more about space, then they went on to a second round where they had to produce a very short video. And the camp went ahead. We had four astronauts there. We had girls from actually many countries, not just the US. And afterwards, I asked for feedback. And one of the girls in particular, she wasn't the only one, but this one girl said, I just thought it would be something nice to do, to go
Mm,
to this 3-day camp. She said, I never realized how much I would actually enjoy it.
mm,
And now it's making me rethink my own future and what I would like to do,
wow.
you
So
know.
yeah,
So
exactly.
this is what we're about, this is what we're about. And just giving, like you say, that space, because for our camp, we did not have academic criteria.
Mm,
We didn't say you've got to be an A student or anything like that. In fact, we didn't ask for any evidence of grades.
just
Just write
come.
this essay. Let's see
Mm,
what you've got to say. Do this video. Let's see how you express yourself. And they came and it was amazing.
wow, wow. So I'm very cognizant of the time. So tell us about the programming initiative that you're currently working on. What does that involve?
Oh, so at the moment, I'm working with STEM Iverse. So it has STEM, AI, artificial intelligence, and the metaverse all put together in the name.
Okay.
And we're working on a program called Mission Red Code. Can't actually say too much about it, but it's basically for children ages 13 to 18. This specific one will be in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Um, However, we're open to traveling to wherever we need to if people want us to take the program there. With this program, there will be so much in terms of hands-on learning with programming, with things like Tinkercad as well, and um, building building rockets
Oh,
and
wow.
different things like that. So
Oh,
I can't say too much about it because we do want quite a bit of it to be a surprise for the participants. But yeah, that's a 3-day camp.
wow.
Our camps are not residential unless they have to be. So this is going to be held on a weekend during the day. Yeah, evenings and days so that the children don't miss school either. It actually is for boys and girls,
Okay.
but
Mhm.
yeah,
Is there
and it's very exciting.
any other initiatives that you're doing on a more universal level that people, let's say, in North America might want to jump in? Anything else? Because
We
I know
can
you're
come to
all.
North we can come to North America. We have no problems. We do
Oh.
programs. I'm based in the UK. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
we did the one in New York. Space Prize itself has done Space Prize, not STEMiverse. STEMiverse is well experienced in camps in all continents. Okay, and in terms of Space Prize, we've had Space Prize Challenge in New York, in Portugal, in Paris, another one in New York, and with those, the prizes were actually zero G flights, which was pretty amazing. Zero gravity flights. So at the
Which, for anybody
moment,
who doesn't know what that means zero gravity means.
zero gravity, like when you go into space and there's no gravity.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so they go on flights where they have that experience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Okay, yeah.
obviously, with all space prizes are charities, so funding is the issue as always. So, as much as people are saying, yes, we want to help, we want girls to get into STEM and so on and so on, yeah, they're not always funding in the way that is needed, to support those initiatives.
So if people want to find out more about some of these space prize programs from here, I'm gonna get your information and put it in the caption. Is that okay? So that people can
Yeah.
contact you if they want to get more information? Okay,
Yep.
so all right. And if anybody wants to know more about what Dr. Sani is doing, I will put her information in the caption and you can check her website, reach out to her and find
The
out more.
easiest way actually is through LinkedIn. The easiest
Okay,
way is for someone to send me a message through LinkedIn.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'll put your LinkedIn information in the caption.
Okay.
Okay. I am very aware of your time, very conscious of your time. So I just want to thank you for showing up and just spending these minutes with me and talking a little bit more about STEM. And there are possibilities for girls and opportunities for girls, and we really need to be encouraging and supporting them in this area.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you have a final thought or message that you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, we have a space prize curriculum that's about space. And as I said, STEM is, for me, a collaboration of at least um, two or more of the sectors. So I think that rather than just thinking about STEM, think about your hobbies, think about, what excites you, and then look for your dream career in that,
Okay.
So it could be sciences or it could be math, it could be technology, it could be a combination, but make it something that you know you'll enjoy.
Okay. Thank you. On that note, we will end our conversation today with Dr. Miriam Sani, and thank you so much.
It's a
Really
pleasure.
appreciate you being here today. Thank you.
Thank you.